Today's lesson is about the production of steel by the basic oxygen process. Iron from the blast furnace contains about 96% iron together with carbon and some other impurities. This iron is hard, but it is too brittle for most uses. This iron is also known as cast iron. Most of the iron from the blast furnace is converted into steel by removing some of the carbon. The basic oxygen process is carried out in a tilting furnace. This method is fast because 350 tons of molten iron can be converted in 40 minutes. This is the converter. It has an opening which can be used for the slag or the molten steel to come out. This is the oxygen lance. A high-speed jet of oxygen is blown into the vessel through the lance. The oxygen reacts with carbon, producing carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, which escape from the molten metal. Sulfur is also oxidized to form sulfur dioxide, which again goes into the atmosphere. Other metals are often added, such as vanadium, chromium, etc., to make alloys with specific uses. Silicon and phosphorus are also present in the molten iron, but they do not produce gaseous oxide. So, in order to get rid of these oxides, lime is added. Lime is calcium oxide, which is a basic oxide. So, lime will react with silicon dioxide and phosphorus 5 oxide to form slag. These impurities float on top of the molten iron, which can be poured off by tilting the furnace. As you can see here, the scrap iron is fed into the furnace. The molten iron is also fed into the furnace. Calcium oxide is added. Oxygen is passed through, and the various chemical reactions take place. Carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide escape into the atmosphere. Phosphorus oxide and silicon oxide react with calcium oxide to form slag. The furnace is tilted and the slag is poured out. So this is how the molten iron is converted to steel. Now let us look at a sample question. This is a diagram. This diagram shows a basic oxygen converter. You need to label the diagram to show each of the following. Now, this is where the oxygen enters. Over here is the slag, and this is the molten steel. Now, in the converter, the oxygen oxidizes sulfur, carbon and phosphorus to the oxide. Explain why sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide are easily removed from the converter. As we saw earlier, they are gases and so they escape easily. Explain how calcium oxide is used to remove phosphorus 5 oxide from the converter. Phosphorus 5 oxide is acidic oxide. Calcium oxide is basic. So they react together. They form slag by the reaction, which can be removed. Stainless steel is an alloy. Which one of the diagram best represents an alloy? D is the alloy because the particles shown in white are the atoms of iron, and these are the carbon atoms, and there seems to be no regular arrangement. So the structure of an alloy is D. State 1 use of stainless steel. There are so many uses. You can name any one, such as in a chemical plant, to make cutlery, to make surgical instruments, etc. Thank you.